The Chinese characters are the DNA of its civilization. He and Xin, harmony and trust, are important concepts in Confucianism with a lasting impact on China's development philosophy. Sinologist Ragnar Baldursson, Iceland's former minister counselor to China, will share his interpretation of Chinese wisdom embedded in the characters.
Hello and welcome to China Talk. My name is Ragnar Baldursson and I'm from Iceland. I'm a very different cultural background from China. I come from a family of teachers, and in our home we got a Chinese monthly. It was published in Esperanto, and I read about China, El Popolo Chinio. It was obviously very different from Iceland. So when there was announced a scholarship to China in 1975 in summer, so I wanted to learn about the real China. Thought that eventually the alphabet, the pinyin, would be used to write all the Chinese words. But my teachers, they told me it's not that simple. I would have to learn the characters. One of the first words I learned to write was the name for my country, Iceland. The Chinese called it Iceland, Bing Dao. Actually, when we were learning the Chinese characters, we were actually learning conceptualized thought, to think about abstract things. I realized also that the Chinese worldview, or the Chinese idea about the world, is linked to these characters and to the old civilization. One of the fundamental basic characters of the Chinese civilization is He, which means with or to cooperate, me and you. It's you link this with a He, which actually is just it's a corn or a rice together with a mouth. So people, a mouth stands for the people, and you need to work together on the watering, on the irrigation, the flooding, and the roads to bring the corn between different regions. So that is the origin of the Chinese concept of cooperation, that the whole society is based on cooperation. China is a rice culture. Now those characters, like He, like collaboration and trust, it's even older than Confucianism. So I may say that Confucianism grew up from the agricultural way of doing things, of working together. And another thing very important I found, which is a fundamental principle of Confucianism and Chinese governance, even today, is trust. Now trust is a character with a person, and another character which means to speak, yen. And Confucius says about this character, about this concept, trust, that how can you be a person if your words are not to be trusted? So for the Confucianists, it meant basically a basic quality of person, people, and governance is that you have to be trusted. And if you are not trusted, you are no better than the beasts, than the animals. And this principle is a basic principle of the Confucianism, together with the collaboration, working together, this He. And the aim of those action points basically is to work together and is to be trusted. And the aim of this, of course, is to provide for the people. So the people were the livelihood of everyone in the society become the most important concept in Confucianism and in Chinese political thought. When I was studying at the Peking University, philosophy, we were focused on Western philosophy originally. They would, if they were discussing Western philosophy, they would always tend to talk about ancient China. So I started studying the Chinese classics, the Analects of Confucius, and as I went on, and I found that in Confucianism, for instance, the basic principle is the people. The goal of unifying the state was to make the life of the people better. So it was the central idea of the Chinese philosophy of Confucius. And then I came to realize that in modern times, this is still the central theme. So the Confucianists, all of them, not only Confucius, also the Lao Tse, and all of them, they are always talking about the people, about the common people. And this is also done by the present political leadership of China. The modern world is characterized by increasing trend towards globalization. When I started my work as a diplomat in the late 90s, there was no understanding of the importance of sustainable development in general. And it was not only China. In the Western world, people had not realized that sustainable development was important. But then around 2000 and thereafter, it became more and more important. And when I thought about it as a diplomat in China, I realized that the concept of sustainable development was basically it was extension of the concepts of collaboration and trust, he and sin. Because if you're not working together, you cannot achieve sustainable development. And without peace between people, you cannot have sustainable development. And without trust between people, you cannot have sustainable development. The only way to maintain it is to do it in a sustainable way, based on the principles of peaceful collaboration and trust, mutual trust. And the purpose of the development is not to create more and more machineries and more and more technology. The purpose is to improve the lives of the people. This became, in my mind, a central in the contemporary and future development of international relations. What China has done, it has the Chinese agricultural civilization and metamorphosed into a modern, highly developed and highly specialized civilization that is still based on the basic principles of ancient Confucianism, of collaboration and trust for the people, for providing for the people.